Hey Libra, it's Lisa. Oops. Just coming over here, having some coffee, and throwing some cards. And I'm going to do October's 2021 general reading. It's only general, so it's not going to resonate with everybody. Take what does, leave what doesn't. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for popping in. I hope you come back. I hope you like it and come back. And the ones have been here before, I really do appreciate the support. It means a lot. Alright. Oops. I'm doing a new spread, so I'm not real. I have to check and see where the card placement is every now and then, so sorry. Alright, but if you do like the spread, if you can let me know in the comments, okay? Alright, I can get started. Okay. What do we have for Libra 2021, October 2021 for Libra? Okay, got the Six of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, crossed by the Page of Swords, the High Priestess, the Page of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Tower, and the Ten of Swords. Alright. Okay, Libra, let's see what we can figure out here. It looks like in your recent past, this is the energy of, family and old friends, people you haven't seen for a while. And just so maybe just came back from family reunion or visiting family or running into somebody you haven't seen. Alright, like, hooking up with friends from the past. And now in your present energy, I have the Seven of Pentacles. Now this is about you working towards building something, to making it bigger, stronger, better. And you know that if you keep working really hard, it will develop, it will grow. So either you're pondering it and you're like, okay, that's all right. But then there also is the other point that you might actually be saying, well, I know what this is. I know I can do this, but I've done this already. What else can I do? See how that one little pentacle's not with the other ones? It's almost like he's looking at that one and saying, I could maybe take this and do something else with it. So you might be in that point where you're pondering, like, do I want to keep doing the same thing that I've been doing, even though it's working and, it's good, but maybe you're feeling like a little bit like, but I'd like to try to do that. You know what I mean? Like that kind of feeling. Now I do have, this is the High Priestess, and this is in your family patterns energy. Yeah. Well, it's in your family patterns. And this is what goes with you from your growing up time until, basically into your now. However long that is. But you take things with you when you're, with family. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be your blood family. It doesn't have to be blood. It's just anybody that you grew up with, around, or by. You take things with you, that how you've grown up. And this is telling me that maybe your family was very strong into using their intuition. Maybe they went with their gut feeling on a lot of things. Maybe they kind of wanted to be very, not want to say mysterious, but maybe things were closed off in regards to certain aspects of it that other people weren't entitled to know about. Like, there was not very open. Like, where, some people, well, okay, here you go, example. In my family, it's, when my sister was bringing her kids up, And, one of them would do some dumb shit. And it would always be like, well, if you don't want us to talk about it, then don't do it. That was like, that was just like what we just said. And that's kind of what we meant, because we were in a very close family, and we had dinner together all the time, and you couldn't get away from us, and it would always come out. No matter what, the shit always came out. And so we know. But some families aren't like that. They're like, maybe they keep things more internally. So, you're using a lot of, intuition and gut feeling and stuff like that. But I think a lot of your wisdoms and, knowledge stay internal until it becomes like you wouldn't just say it to anybody. That person has to be very close to you to share it. Okay. And then we got over here, and we have the Page of Pentacles. And this is in your fears and your, I keep forgetting that word, insecurities, and how your coping mechanisms. So this is interesting, because it's almost like you could be considered a message of maybe a new business being offered, a job being offered. And that makes me think, is your coping mechanism the first thing you do is when things aren't going right at the job that you're at, is go get another one? Is that just... Yeah, because I don't think this is a fear. I don't think anybody having a new start would be a fear. Unless you're afraid to have a new start because you are so comfortable in your old job. So I guess it could go either way. But yeah, either that's how you don't like it here, or you don't like what's going on here, so you cope with it by going to another job, or you're afraid to go to another job because you're afraid it won't be the same as the one that you have. Okay. And what we have here is, in your conscious mind, is like the King of Swords energy. Now this could be you, Libra, because it's like a Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So this could be, what's in your mind is how you want to be. Yeah, what you should do. Like, so it's saying that, you need to be on top of your game, be in control, have everything exactly the way you know it should be. Like a firm, fair aspect. So that's what that's how you feel you should be. But this is how... And this is on your, what your highest self, with this, the King energy, and then your highest self wants all these options to be available. And even though some of them could be kind of like lost in the clouds, they're just like illusions. They might not be real, but you want them to be. But then crossing you have this Page of Swords energy, and this is almost like some disappointing news that came in regards to possibly what these options were. Like, maybe you're finding out that a lot of your options are illusions. And so that's what's kind of like blocking you from having your highest self where you want it to be, right? Now this one is what you really want to do, like what you actually desire. And from what this looks like, this Four of Cups energy is like, you want to be able to not not be giving into the first thing that comes around. So if you are with the whole changing jobs because one job didn't work out, or you don't want to have to settle. You don't want to have to settle. You want to have options, like these options. You want to have more options than what they're just offering you. All right. And for this is like the lesson from Spirit. And the way this feels with the tower, God, the tower here, it's almost like it's telling you not to build something on faulty ground. So whatever you're planning on doing, that's why it can't be with options that are illusions. You have to know that it's what is right and what's strong and is real for you to be able to be this, on point person that you want to be. And you need to not have illusions as your option, because sometimes you're not going to get offered everything you want right away. And sometimes there's a reason for that. I mean, if everything's like divine timing, the divine timing is for you to use some discernment, I guess, to make sure that the options that you're looking at are real options, or it's not going to stand. And the advice from Spirit. Okay, so that was your lessons, and this is the advice. This came on, I don't know who else this came up under. Somebody. I was like, the advice from Spirit is like, well, when you're dead, lie down. The only way I could explain this as an advice is to accept it when things aren't going as well. And even though it's going to be hard to get over, it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be, well, it's not going to get any worse. Like, this is as bad as it's going to be. It's going to hurt, and it's going to be rough, but there is sunlight coming up in the back. So it's just a matter of, once this passes, then you have a whole new start. This is like an end of a cycle. You have a whole new start after this. So let's see if we can get some clarifiers on this. Let's go with the Seven of Pentacles. Got the King of Swords and the Emperor. Interesting. Two incredibly strong authority figures. And I feel like this is just a matter of you standing tough in what you know you can do and what you think you should do, making the hard decisions. So it actually doesn't answer which one you should do, just basically either way, you're strong enough to be able to probably handle it either way. And what about these Page of Pentacles? And Page of Pentacles and personal issues. Seven of Cups and Two of Wands. All right, well, so we got, you're going to have to make plans, make sure you have the right information and you're getting details and know what's going on, because you got the Seven of Cups again. And again, it's about finding what is actually the true options and what is not, the illusions. Alright, so yeah, so if you're coping mechanism is to go to another job, make sure you know the other job is something that is going to be more, well, not that it's going to be real, but it's going to be what you're planning on it being. And the other way is like you're afraid to go to another job because, you know this one, you don't want to leave it. Well, then that's another thing. You need to make plans and try to pick from your options that are there. Isn't it? Tarot doesn't really tell you what to do. It just gives you kind of like an idea. Because that free will gets in the way every time. It could say anything you want, but no. You have that free will and you can make any decision you want. This is a heads up. For your King of Swords, we got the Queen of Cups and the Death card. It seems like they're going to have to change something. So I can't imagine what you would want to change. Because if this is your... what's in your conscious mind and what you should do. And I'm feeling like maybe it's almost like to make things easier for you as you're going through, I get it. Because, Mr. King of Swords thinks that, he should have everything the way he wants it without too many questions and just, I want this and I want this and I want this and that. That's how I felt about him. He's very strong and analytical and on point and doesn't mess. He ain't got no sense of humor. But I feel like you need to switch it up a little bit, soften up a little bit, and get more characteristics of, again, male or female, doesn't matter, this Queen of Cups, who is more compassionate and nurturing and soft. Just not so, just not so hard like that guy. And when you transform a little bit, when you change into that, which I'm sure it's possible. When you soften up, these options will be easier for you to handle. And you might it might be easier to make. Let's see. So what about this Page of Swords? Ace of Swords. Alright, and the Five of Wands. With the Five of Wands, it's a competition and chaos and just a little bit of like static that coming from the situation. Which is why I think it was disappointing news. But the Ace of Swords can cut both ways. So you can consider those options that were on there, but you have to be careful because literally it can be like rough if you don't pick the right one. But you got to be. I'm like discerning keeps coming to my head. Don't pick something just because it sounds really good or it's a lot of more money or it gives you like this charge of authority and big boss person, because it can cut both ways. Let's see about these Four of Pentacles. Not four, yeah, Four of Cups. The Hangman. And the Ace of Cups. Alright, well yeah, you're looking at something in a different perspective. So I think you're going to take the time to say, okay, let's just see. And then maybe when you do that, you'll find the shiny new cup that you want because you weren't being dismissive of what was there. And maybe you will find the job or the business or the idea or the relationship or whatever it is that you were looking for. Now what about the Tower? Ooh, excuse me. We got the Two of Pentacles and the Empress. And this just feel like if you... Well, if you take this lesson to heart and you realize that if you don't have a firm, concrete foundation, things are going to crumble. So if you juggle things in the right, in the right balance and the right, just juggle things right, that you'll be able to grow what you're looking to grow. And what about the Ten of Swords? Can you tell me about the Ten of Swords for Libra? Oh, okay. Hey, I love one that does it. This is the ending, and this is the beginning. And that's your hope. So when this ends, when that, when those swords hit you, you're done, it's over, but it is over. And then your cycle starts again. And you have like a lot of, new rejuvenation and hope to go on with it. All right, let's see. Oh wait, some of those wrong cards. It's the Soul's Journey. Imagination and death. Embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. And I am leaving that endings, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Oh, cool. All right, so that works. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it helps out in some way. And if you can give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, write me a comment, let me know if you like the spread. And I will be seeing you. Hit the dingy bell, because I'm thinking about doing something in the middle of the month, and I know I say this all the time, but I'm really thinking about it this time. So hit the dingy bell so you'll get notifications, and if you want. And otherwise, I will see you next month. Take care.